Israeli missiles have destroyed the intensive care unit and surgery department of the only hospital still functioning in Gaza City, the Al-Ahli Baptist Hospital. Pictures taken by activists show huge flames and smoke at the site. Some reports say an oxygen plant was hit. A local journalist said the Israel Defense Force had phoned a doctor and given a 20-minute evacuation warning. Hamas called the strike a horrific crime. In a statement, Israel said that the compound was used by Hamas terrorists to plan and execute terror attacks against Israeli civilians and IDF troops, and that steps were taken to mitigate harm to civilians. Our Gaza correspondent, Rushdie Abu-Alouf, who's now based in Cairo, outlined the damage to the hospital and the state of medical facilities in Gaza City.
It was almost shortly after midnight, about 1 o'clock in the morning, Gaza time, when a doctor at the emergency department received a warning call from the Israeli IDF officer telling him that they must evacuate all of the patient medical staff and also hundreds of people who are taking the hospitals as shelter, because the Israeli army is going to hit a building. The initial assessment by the Hamas-run health ministry in the beginning showed that there is a building, two-story building, completely destroyed. But about half an hour ago, a doctor in the hospital have told journalists that most of the department in other buildings were also severely damaged. So in theory, the external door of the hospital is closed, and the only and remaining hospital is not functioning anymore. This is the only hospital in Gaza City where about 900,000 people live. And you know, the nearest hospital is in the middle of Gaza Strip called Al-Aqsa Hospital. And the road between the north and the south is closed. So the people are left without any medical facility. The amount of damage into the hospital facility is bigger than what the Hamas-run health ministry were expecting during the night after they send teams to check other departments. They said about 6 departments of the hospital are severely damaged, and the emergency department, intensive care unit was completely destroyed.
Why did Israel strike this hospital?
Well, the statement from the Israeli army has just been issued, and they accuse Hamas of using the hospital compound to plan and execute terror activity, as the statement said. Well, we haven't heard yet from Hamas a response about the latest Israeli statement, but earlier Hamas issued a statement calling what's happened as a war crime. This is a horrific crime done by Israel to destroy the last hospital that is functioning in Gaza. The Hamas-run media office issued a detailed statement saying that about 35 hospitals were completely destroyed, and the last one was this morning, saying that Gaza City now is left without any medical facility.
What evidence is there that Israel can point to back up their claims about how this hospital was being used?
You know, most of the media channels, Arab channels, are operating from inside the hospital, and all of the time they are having a live show. Their correspondents are appearing on camera from the hospital. I've been talking to many local journalists there, and they said they haven't seen any real military activity. They said there was a small Hamas police unit was operating from the southern door of the hospital to ensure security in the place. So we can't verify, journalists are not allowed to be inside Gaza, and Hamas deny and Israel confirmed that Hamas is using the compound. And the account we are getting from some local journalists that they haven't seen any real Hamas military inside, except the Hamas police unit was operating from the hospital. And you know, it's not the first hospital, and it's not the first time this debate and accusation between Hamas and Israel over using medical facilities. We have seen this before in Shifa Hospital was completely destroyed, and Israel said Hamas used this, and Hamas denied in other hospital in the south. So this debate started following the 7th of October, from the beginning of the war, that always Israel insists that Hamas is using medical facility for terror activities, and Hamas always denies.